As the dust settles after the Wagner mutiny, the question is who will replace the Wagner group in Russia? Who will provide the Russian president with the extra assistance in the war? Well, there is one group waiting to take that place, and that is Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov. Kadyrov is positioning himself as a warlord ready to go into battle for Vladimir Putin. But unlike the paramilitary Wagner group, which Moscow is now seeking to disband, Chechen special forces have earned a reputation as TikTok fighters. Why? Because they are more concerned with their social media appearance than battlefield successes. Following Wagner chief's rebellion in Russia, the Chechen leader has sought to show his close ties with the Russian president. On his social media page, he can be seen posting a selfie with Putin. Interestingly, hours after Prigozhin's march on Moscow, the Chechen leader's battalion posted a video showing its forces dramatically patrolling a deserted bridge, dressed head to toe in camouflage and armed with machine guns. However, there was one problem with the footage. It appears to have been filmed during Moscow's sunset on Saturday. This was after Prigozhin's insurrection had already ended. Moreover, it is said to have been shot in Horst-Roma, a city Wagner fighters never came close during the uprising. The record of the Chechen fighters raises a question. Will they be able to provide the Russian military with support comparable to that of the Wagner group? To give us more insight, we are now being joined by Elizabeth Braw from Washington, D.C. She's a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Elizabeth, welcome back to WION. Thank you so much for joining us. So how serious is this story where these Chechen fighters may take the place of the Wagner group as we speak?
Well, at the moment, everything in Russia is unpredictable, and they may well take the place of Wagner soldiers, but that doesn't mean that they'll be any good. If there's anything that is true in military campaign, or when it comes to the military and generally, it is that the people who like posing in military uniforms and with weapons are the sort of people who you wouldn't want anywhere near your war fighting, because they are just not very good. They're more concerned about appearances, and that is indeed the case with Kadyrov and his troops. A proper military is disciplined, doesn't like to spend its time parading its stuff to the general public, and also has proper discipline, and that's something that Kadyrov and his men don't have. We have no idea how loyal, how obedient they would be to the Russian command and control structure in the Ukraine war.
Do you think we're getting ahead of ourselves with these headlines here about this Chechen group, and Vladimir Putin is not even considering them to take the place of Wagner?
Well, the problem in an authoritarian country is that decisions can be made very quickly and without much advance warning at all. So we have no way of knowing. We, the general public, have no way of knowing what sort of decision, what sort of thinking is going on in Vladimir Putin's head at the moment. And in a democracy, you would have a proper consultation between the government and parliament and between different parts of the government. Not so in an authoritarian country, which adds to the uncertainty in trying to understand what it is that Putin will do next. But that said, even if he does get some Chechen fighters to Ukraine, they are very brutal, but they are not very professional. So they won't win this war for him.
Great. Elizabeth Braw, thank you so much for joining us from Washington, D.C. this morning. And I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.